Well, in this week's Midweek Musings, we have the remarkable delight of being able to interview Fallon Kay. Fallon is 23 years old. She's exuberant. She's colourful. She's enthusiastic. And mostly she's on time. And we love the fact that Fallon is part of our church. And it's an absolute delight to talk to you, Fallon, this afternoon. But firstly, before I go any further, we know you as Fallon, but for example, right now on your Zoom account, you're Jilcine. So I kind of was worried that we've been calling the wrong name all these years. Explain the two names. Explain why you're Fallon and Jilcine.
Well, legally, I am, well, Jilcine. It's Jilcine Fallon Kay. Mm-hmm. But legally it's Jilcine Fallon Kay, but actually my first name should have been Fallon, so it should have been Fallon Jilcine Kay. So when my parents were switching like the papers to get my British passport and all that stuff, it just got mixed up, so they just changed it around. So it's now Jilcine Fallon Kay instead of Jilcine Kay. So that's what it all is. So in school it'll be Jilcine, they'll shout in the register Jilcine, and I'm like, no man, it's Fallon, you can just call me Fallon. But when I started college, I was like, you know what, just leave it as Jilcine. So that's why I go by Jilcine and Fallon. So from primary to high school it's Fallon, people call me Fallon, and from college to university it's Jilcine, people call me Jilcine, but my family call me by Fallon, and the church know me as Fallon as well.
And that's fine. I have the same problem. I'm David Neil Hudson, known as Neil, but my official name is it's a nightmare for officialdom, so I understand completely. But essentially it's okay to keep on calling you Fallon, even though
Fallon is the one you guys call me, so just keep Fallon.
So tell us, Fallon, what's work for you at the moment? Because you've been through university and you've done your studying, but where are you working at the moment?
So at the moment, I am working in Altrincham as a support worker. I'm working with 3 individuals with autism. So I just support them with the daily living, like with the cooking, the cleaning, and whenever they really need me. They're very independent. So most of the time I'm just sitting there and just there in case they need something from me. Mm-hmm. But I really like my job. And obviously I graduated, I did my master's in social pedagogy. So I was also looking for a job, just working in the community. But obviously I'm a master's now, I need better money. And even though I'm happy where I'm working at the moment, but I'm like getting pressured, like, come on, you've got a master's now, you need to get a better job and you need to get better money. Though I am happy with what I'm doing, and money is not really the highlight of my life. I'm just happy where I am, and I'm happy with what I do. But I'm getting all this pressure from my parents, and I'm just like, you know what? I want to look for a better job within something I also enjoy, because I'm not really like a person that likes like office work or stuff like that. I like working within the community because I've done like a lot of volunteering. I went to Togo when I did that thing for the church. You guys helped me raise money. And also I went to the USA to work for 3 months as well. So I like stuff like that. So I have, I got a job as an advanced support worker somewhere in Manchester. And obviously before it happened, just before Corona started, I got the job and I was going through the whole cycle of paperwork and all that. But when I went to look at the place where I'll be working, I had this feeling that it's not really for me. But then Corona happened and they had to postpone my application. So I don't know if that was a sign from God saying that's not for you, but I'm not too sure. So they postponed my application and they said, like, when all this dies down, they'll get back to me and I can start my application again. And they did get back to me. I thought they would have forgotten, but they didn't. So they got back to me and I told them I'll think about it. And at the moment, I'm thinking about it to make that decision. Even though it's better money, I don't know. I'm not sure.
But
Well,
it's this sort of field, this area of work that you really want to work in, isn't it?
this is my area of work. I love working with people with learning disabilities and making a difference in their life. That's my highlight of every day I go to work. I like it and I enjoy it. That's the main thing. I want to be going to a job where I enjoy, not a job where I feel like I'm suffocating. No.
Yeah, good. As we watch you right now, the people will be aware of a couple of things in the background there. One is that you have more shoes than any woman probably should have. The other thing is the flag that's there. I wonder if you can just go and get the flag and show us the flag, because this explains a little bit more about who you are.
So I am proud, a very proud Congolese young lady. This is my flag. I even have it in my room. That's the colors. It's very bright, just like me. And yeah, so there's two Congos, as you all should know, if you know your geography. And I'm from the People's Congo, so Congo Brazzaville. So there's Congo Brazzaville and there's Congo Kinshasa. So that's the DRC, the Republic, the Democratic Republic of Congo, but I'm from the other one. So the small Congo. Yeah. That's
and that's your flag. Well, that's great.
That's our flag, yeah.
You know, if we ever doing a quiz night and we need to do flags of Congo, we would be able to do that now. But when you came to England when you were 7,
I did, yeah.
So tell us about memories of Congo. What do you remember from just being a very young child in Congo?
I remember just playing outside. I used to love playing outside in the rain. And when it rains in Congo, it's not like this rain, this boring rain. It's like very powerful and it's nice, and it's not cold rain. It's like nice hot rain. So you'll be out there with all your friends, running around naked, just playing. So it was just, I don't know, it was a lovely feeling with all your friends, innocent minds, no care in the world of anything apart from the rain that's falling. So, and I grew up with my grandmother, so like she'll take me to church. I'll do a lot of things with my grandma. We'll go around, visit family and friends, and the food. I remember the food, and I loved the food, and I think that's like the memories I really remember. It's just my grandmother and the rain. That's most of the memories I remember in Congo.
And when you were 7, then you came to join your dad in Accrington.
I did, yeah.
Which is probably not like Congo at all.
Nothing like Congo. I mean, arriving for the first time in England, I didn't really like the food. So on the plane coming here, I tried baked beans and I didn't like it at all. It was terrible. But that's the only negative memory I remember. But when we were on the plane, when we was about to land, I saw the lights and stuff. So I thought that was the stars. I just told my dad, Dad, look, there's a lot of stars in the sky. It's so beautiful and stuff. He's like, no, love, that's light. So I was like, oh, wow. So when we got off the plane, I was wearing my African material, very soft material. And it was wintertime in January. So my dad had to get me this big fairy coat because I was really, really cold. And then, I don't know, it's a different smell. It's just smelled very nice. And it's just completely different to Congo. And I was just so happy because I've always wanted to come to Europe. And I've always told my friend when I was back home, oh, my dad's from England, my dad's in Europe. They never believed me because Europe is just something like, I don't know, like saying you've been to heaven kind of for Africa, for Congo. It's like, so nobody will believe you. Imagine today you go to the whole church, yo, I went to heaven. They're like, no, you didn't, why try it? So it's kind of like similar. So when you telling them that, they didn't believe me. So when my dad came to get me, I was like, see, I told you. It's like Jesus coming on earth and telling, let's go. But see, I told you. Jesus is real. So yeah, that was like my first few memories and like going into my new house, and I was just really happy. And yeah, that was like my few good memories of England.
It's kind of interesting you remember the smell.
Yeah, there was
a
this
different
really different perfumed smell. I don't know if it was my house smell or what it was, but there was this different smell. I don't know if people have gone like abroad and has like England has a different smell than Portugal. Because when I went to Portugal last summer, there was a really powerful smell. It wasn't the same smell. I think that's the same smell I felt landing in England. Yeah. So.
So you were this little girl, a French-speaking girl,
Yeah.
of course, because that's the language of Congo. And here you were in Accrington, starting new
Well,
school.
in Congo, sorry, French is like the language that everybody speaks, but we speak Congo. That's like Monokotoba.
Okay.
So that's like our language that I speak with my parents at home.
Oh.
We don't really speak. We mix it with French, but we speak Lingala and Monokotoba. So that's the language I will speak in like our homes and stuff. French is more like in school, we'll speak in French, but with like your family and your friends, you'll speak Monokotoba and Lingala.
Okay. So what was it like then when you were coming into an English-speaking school in Accrington? I think you told me that you were kind of like were you the only black girl in the school?
Yes, I was the only black girl in school because I don't know, them times it wasn't very diverse. I don't know because it was Accrington, but I think there was some Asians, but as a black like black African, I was the only black African there. I mean, they accepted me with open arms. I was very behind with education. So I was going in and out of class, being taught English, being taught maths, English maths, all like science, all the basic things to get to my level of education, the level that my friends were at already. Because I was probably on the level of, let's say, nursery. I was that low when it came to education. I couldn't read, I couldn't really write. So I had to start again from like literally zero, from ABC. So it was that deep. So I've come a long way from then.
Come a long way.
Yeah.
In 2012, you moved to Salford. What was it like moving to Salford schools? Because you would be 14, 15, kind of that sort of age. So a different stage.
Yeah. So in year 10, I started in All Hallows High School, which is just, well, I don't want to explain around here.
Yeah,
just behind the church.
It's not far from the church, is it?
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it was very diverse then. Like, there's so many black people. I was amazed. I was like, wow, so many of you. Where do I start? I mean, I was happy, and at the same time, I was a bit, because I didn't relate to them that much, because I felt more comfortable with my white friends. So the first thing, I think, what I didn't really like when I arrived in my school, the head of year, he didn't really know much about my background, but he just assumed I would be more comfortable with the black people. So he put me with the black people to like show me around and everything. But I think that was a bad move because I was like, what? They did not relate to me at all. I didn't understand what they were going on about and all that stuff. So in the end, I just ended up making my own clique of my white friends. And then the black people were not very happy about that. So I ended up splitting myself in half. So let's say Mondays I'll be with my white friends and Tuesdays I'll be with my black friends. And then, yeah. So then I started mixing up a bit because when I'll have birthdays, as you all know, I love to party. Mm-hmm. I celebrate every birthday because I always thank God I've reached that age because not everybody reaches 23, you know? You never know. The whole year you've gone by and you've reached a certain age, you need to celebrate that. And so I'll have parties and then I'll invite both of my friend groups and that's when they interact with each other and stuff. So I feel like I made a little bit of a difference, and they started understanding the Black culture more and all that stuff. And yeah, I think coming to Manchester really opened up more about my culture, and because there's a lot of Congolese people here in Manchester, and that made me like really proud to be Congolese and to be proud to call myself Black and to be proud to be of an African background. And yeah, I feel like I became free. I could just be this African girl without being judged. So yeah.
We're speaking today, just a few days after there's been a sort of a march, a protest march in Manchester, Black Lives Matter. Yeah. And I know that you were there because I saw the pictures that you posted. Yeah. Why did that matter to you? Why did you feel it was important to go? And how do you reflect on the whole thing that's happening?
So obviously it didn't all start with George Floyd. Before that, there was others that got murdered for not really specific reasons. But because obviously I think like because of George Floyd's one, it was like documented and it was videoed and stuff. Everybody saw that live. So I think that's why it went all viral and all Black people got really mad. I mean, with me, I just thought because I am Black, and it could have been anybody. It could have been my brother. It could have been my sister. It could have been my mother. It could have been anybody in my family. Because, like, this could have happened to anybody. It could have been anybody in my family. So I was just like, you know what? It's not fair. Yes, he did. He did do fraud. The guy that got killed by the white man. He did fraud, and I know what he did was illegal, but just because of something like that, the way they detained him before they did all that to him, it was just not very human-like. So with that, I felt a bit like, imagine that was my dad or that was my brother. So with that, I wasn't very happy about. So I just wanted to be part of that march to say, yes, what they did was not right. And me as a Black woman, I feel the pain and I will be part of the protest too. So that's why I did go. I was very tired that day because I just had a wild little party at mine because I just celebrated my 23rd birthday. So when I woke up, I wasn't like, do I have to go to this? Do I need to go to this? I was like, for me to really represent what I am posting on social media and stuff, I need to be actually there and be part of the march. Because without that march, I don't think the guy would have been, they would have took him, the guy that killed George, they would have took him and held him accountable to what he did. So I think when people are saying why are you protesting, it's not going to make a difference. It is going to make a difference. Because let's think about back in slavery days, if one Black person didn't stand up and say, you know what they're doing is wrong to us, if he didn't stand up and say what they're doing is wrong to us and I don't like it and I'm going to do something about it, then I think today slavery would have still been legal and it still be there today. And same thing with Black people sitting behind on buses and all that. If Black people did not stand up and did not do something, none of it would have changed. And the same thing with what's happening now with George, with George's case and stuff like that. If people didn't say, you know what, let's protest, let's do this because what they did was wrong, then the guys wouldn't have been arrested. It would have just gone by as normal as a lot of it has happened in the past, like people getting killed and stuff like that. If someone does not stand up and say, no, it's not, this is wrong, then no change will be done. So I think me going from that march, even though a lot of people are saying that it's not going to make a difference, it is making a big difference. Like worldwide, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Tell me about when faith became real for you, when faith became owned by you. How did you become a Christian?
I've been I would say my journey into Christianity is, I would say my parents and my family had a big part in it, because growing up, I grew up in a Christian household, and you had no choice but to go to church anyways, no matter what, no matter if you didn't want to go. So with that, I'd go to church, I'll go to Sunday school, I was part of the girls' brigade, all that stuff, with my little uniform, every Monday going to girls' brigade. And I mean, that was part of my journey to knowing God. But when I actually made my dedication to be a Christian for my own salvation, not because my parents said so, you have to go, is when my friend, about 4 or 5 years ago, my friend invited me to her church. And I said, you know what, I'll go. So I went, and I just some fire came into me, and I feel like it was maybe the Holy Spirit speaking to me. And I was just overwhelmed with happiness. And I don't know, it's just something that sparked and said, boy, he's real, and he's done so much in your life. And think about where you've come from, and like how much he's helped you, and how much he's done so much for you throughout your life. And you just started thinking back on everything that's happened in your life, and thinking, yeah, it couldn't have been anybody else but God. So that's when I was like, I dedicated myself to him. And now my Christian journey is for me, for nobody else. So that's why I'm doing it just for me. I'm not doing it because people are saying so you have to, but I'm doing it because I believe, and I believe he died on the cross for me and for all my sins. And that's how I became a dedicated Christian for myself. Yeah.
Good. Mm-hmm. So how can we pray for you?
I would say just for God to keep guiding me in my Christian journey, because it can be hard sometimes as a young person to just because I can be overwhelmed with things in life and things. I think like within my question that I asked, we did this thing, a question answer talk. Was it on, when was it again?
Wednesday.
On Wednesday. And I feel like that's one of the things I always like think about. But like, as a Christian, where do I stop and say, look, you're a Christian, shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. But then with the answer what you guys gave, which was very wonderful and very, I really like the responses, like just focus on God. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just focusing on God, and then everything will flow. So yeah.
It is tricky sometimes to know, well, how do you live a life that is wise, that is godly, that is fun, that is open to life, that is not repressed, and all the rest of it. And I think, those of us who are just a little older than you would want to pray that you would know that blessing and that you'd know the wisdom. We love having you part of our church. I think I look at you and I see this confident young woman who at the age of 7 comes into a place where is so different than the early years, and yet here you are, you come and you learn a new language and you find a way of navigating cultures. The stories of being at secondary school between your white friends and your black friends, and knowing how do you navigate those and actually bring people together in a way. I look at that confidence in you, and I want God just to bless that, and for him to use you as you do explore a career in care and social care. So we're delighted that you're part of us. We love it that you and your family are a part of our family, and we want to bless you and say thank you for sharing just a little bit of yourself.
Thank you for me being part of the church. I really love the church. You're like a great big thing in my life. Like, I like coming to church on Sunday, and I really love the whole congregation, and everybody is so lovely. And I just thank you all for all your blessings and all your prayers and all your support from me being in the church all these years. It's been great.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Josine Fallon K, known to us as Fallon, bless you, and thanks for the chance to have this conversation today.